home brewers of the internet, I need your help. You see, a year ago I had this idea to brew a couple of sour beers and then age them for a year. Well, the year is up, but I'm not sure what to do next. What's the best way to package sour beer? Just look at these two beauties. I've got a Flanders Red and I've got a Lambic. They're actually a little bit more than 1 year old. I remember when I started doing this, how excited I was to brew the Flanders Red, because this would be the first time I've ever brewed a sour beer over this sort of long period of time. This week is the wonderfully complex style of Flanders Red Ale. I've forgotten about that black eye. Got a bit of a shiner. I mean, just look at the pellicle on this. This is like kind of the marshmallow topping. It's not mold, it's pellicle. It's what's expected for the souring of this beer. My goodness, thick. And then the Lambic, this is actually an extract beer. And this one was soured with Brett. Now, the thing that makes these sour beers different to other ones that I've done, like Gozers for example, is those were kettle soured. So I would sour them in the kettle with some lactobacillus, which I would then kill off before proceeding to add the yeast. With these beers, it's different. I brewed them with the yeast first and then added the bugs later. That means that there's a risk of contaminating everything in my brewery when I take the beer out of here, and well, that's my concern. But I've got a couple of ideas about how I can get this beer out of these fermenters and into my glass. Now I could do things the normal way, which would be just to cold crash the beer in the fermenter and siphon it into a keg. From there I could then force carbonate the beer and then serve it. But I've got a few concerns about that. Firstly, well, can I ever use that keg again at this point for any non-soured beers, or am I likely to end up with an infection? And also, I don't really want to be running sour beer through my existing beer lines, so maybe I would need to, well, use something like a picnic tap, which I could connect to here and then just make this my sour beer picnic tap. I think that's all quite feasible at the cost of a couple of kegs, so that's option one. Option two is to skip the kegs and bottle the beer instead. I've got these flip top bottles, kind of ideal for carbonating and serving beer, and it means that I don't have to worry about my keg getting infected. So I can just add in some sugar, like using these carbonation drops here, and then let the yeast go to work. The problem with that is, well, the yeast is A, a year old, and B, it's been exposed to all of these bugs. So I don't know how healthy it is and how much it would be able to carbonate beer by just adding a little bit more sugar in here. So I think maybe adding some additional yeast in would be good. I have this is champagne yeast. Doesn't really add anything to the flavor, but it might wake things up and allow for carbonation to happen. I think both of those methods are viable. So if you've tried either one, or you've got another idea as to how I can carbonate and package and serve these beers, please let me know in the comments. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that, and I'll pick two methods and give it a try. Then next time you see me with these beers, the beers will be carbonated, they'll be in a glass, and I'll be sat next to a taster and we'll be giving them a try. I cannot wait to get to that stage. Thanks for watching, and cheers.